Hello and welcome to Valuechain News. I am Naomi Oleribe. First, the headlines. OPEC restates determination to achieve a balanced market. Fuel subsidy payment is Nigeria's biggest fraud. Wike. Explosion in ADAX facility claims 2 lives in Imo. And now, the news in detail. The 28th OPEC and non-OPEC ministerial meeting held virtually on 5th May has resolved that continuing oil market fundamentals and consensus on the outlooks points to a balanced market. The meeting noted that the effects of geopolitical factors and issues related to the ongoing pandemic were critical to global market forces. The OPEC and participating non-OPEC oil-producing countries reaffirmed the decision of the 3rd OPEC and non-OPEC ministerial meeting on 12th April 2020 and further endorsed in subsequent meetings, including the 19th OPEC and non-OPEC ministerial meeting on the 18th of July 2021. The meeting reaffirmed the production adjustment plan and the monthly production adjustment mechanism approved at the 19th OPEC and non-OPEC ministerial meeting and the decision to adjust upward the monthly overall production by 0.432 million barrels per day for the month of June 2022. It concluded by reiterating the critical importance of adhering to full conformity and to the compensation mechanism, taking advantage of the extension of the compensation period until the end of June 2022. It was resolved that the 29th OPEC and non-OPEC ministerial meeting will hold on the 2nd of June 2022. Rivers State Governor and presidential aspirant Nyesom Wike has said that subsidy paid by the federal government on premium motor spirits, also known as fuel, is fraudulent. Governor Wike wondered why the pump price of PMS was not decreasing, whereas the federal government was spending billions of naira every month on fuel subsidy. The governor spoke while addressing members of the People's Democratic Party's National Working Committee in Abuja recently. According to him, some people say if you remove fuel subsidy, Nigeria will collapse. I have never seen the kind of fraud as it is with oil subsidy. Most of you may not understand. Do you know how much we spend every month on fuel subsidy? Billions of naira every month. Who are those receiving fuel subsidy? The presidential hopeful assured that he will make Nigeria to work if given the chance in 2023. A suspected bomb explosion in a flow station operated by ADAX Petroleum Nigeria Limited in Izombe, Uguta local government area of Imo State on Wednesday claimed the lives of 2 persons. The 2 victims who died in the explosion, according to eyewitnesses, were carriers of the bomb. Witnesses claimed that the victims were trying to find their way into the flow station through the entrance when the bomb exploded, killing them. The explosion, according to the Imo State Command of the Nigerian Police Force, occurred in the early hours of Wednesday. Police Public Relations Officer in the state, Mr. Michael Abatam, confirmed the incident, disclosing that the State Police Command had already drafted the command's anti-bomb unit as well as operatives of the command to the area to prevent any breakdown of law and order. Meanwhile, as at the time of filing of these reports, the management of ADAX Petroleum Nigeria Limited was yet to comment on the development. Workers of the Tema Oil Refinery (TOR) have called on the Ghanaian government to make available crude from the Jubilee oil fields in the western region for the refinery to process into finished petroleum products for the local market. They argued that TOR had the capacity to refine crude oil to meet 60% of the country's petroleum requirements to prevent Ghana from spending millions of dollars in foreign exchange on petroleum distribution companies (PDCs) to import finished products, according to the chairman of the Senior Staff Union of TOR, Mr. Bright Adongo. Petroleum importation is a highly capital-intensive venture which leads to high fuel prices for ordinary Ghanaians. A stoppage on Russian gas flows to France is plausible when the next payments are due at the end of May, the CEO of French utility ENGIE, Catherine McGregor, told newsmen on Thursday. The outcome should be known one way or the other at the end of the month, she said in the report. She made the comments after Gazprom stopped supplies to Poland and Bulgaria last week when they refused to comply with Russian demands to use a new payment process involving rubles, raising concerns that other EU countries may be disrupted as more invoices become due. ENGIE, which typically relies on Russian supplies for 20% of its gas imports, has now started looking elsewhere as Moscow stepped up the rhetoric amid its war in Ukraine, said McGregor. The company is receiving a massive amount of LNG from the US and Qatar, while also getting pipeline flows from Norway and Algeria. Seafarers under the auspices of the Nigerian Merchant Navy Officers and Water Transport Senior Staff Association have disclosed that lack of enforcement and implementation of the Cabotage Act by regulatory agencies has resulted in unemployment in the industry. The association called on the federal government to promote local content and the Cabotage Act as part of efforts to reduce foreign dominance in the nation's maritime sector. The government should checkmate the influx of foreign seafarers into the nation's maritime space. Lack of enforcement and implementation of the Cabotage Act by regulatory agencies has resulted in unemployment. The association, while highlighting some of the challenges faced by Nigerian seafarers, reiterated that the union will continue to support the policies of the government. Before we end the news, here's a recap of our headlines. OPEC restates determination to achieve a balanced market. Fuel subsidy payment is Nigeria's biggest fraud. Wike, explosion in ADAX facility claims 2 lives in Imo. And that's the news. I am Naomi Oleribe. Good evening.